Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Isabel, and today's clearing session will be around doubts and fears when it comes to our intuition. So whether for you that refers mainly to receiving guidance for your life and everyday choices, or you're practicing different psychic abilities, all that fun stuff, then there can be fears that come up around that, especially in the beginning. There can be a lot of doubt. So if you're here, I love it because this is something I'm really passionate about. And yeah, we are all highly intuitive and we're all psychic. And it's really just a matter of, practice and getting out of our own way. So yeah, as I said, there will be clearings around all this. Those clearings are going to be silent. They are multifaceted clearings where I will be addressing what can come up around intuition, the different fears and doubts, and what might have contributed to that. So before we get into that, I'm just going to name a few examples of common doubts and fears. So if you want to pick one of those and bring that into the session, then just see what sticks out. You can also just have your own, of course. So with doubts, there can be thoughts like, what if I'm doing it wrong? What if I'm making things up? What if I'm gonna be let down by the guidance I receive? Or maybe something like that's just for certain people, or like I can't do that, and stuff like that. For fears, there could be simply a fear of the unfamiliar, or a fear of taking something on, fear of perceiving something that we don't want to perceive, or that we won't be able to cope with, that's showing up. The fear of giving up control, fear of feeling powerless, the fear of going crazy, right? That can come up. The fear of the mystery. Mystery is a funny one because when we start tapping into more of that flow and into that play of divine alchemy, then mystery becomes a staple. And there can be a fear around that. There could also be a fear of being your own leader, being in charge, and related to that, the fear of judgment, the fear of loss, like losing relationships. Because when we refrain from external reference points and we do our own thing and listen to our own guidance and start living from that place and owning our truth, then that can lead to changes, and oftentimes it does, in relationships, right? Some of them evolving, but also some of them falling away. But the thing is that what we might feel we could lose wasn't really there to begin with. So yeah, we want to clear that up. Okay, so just pick one that stood out for you. Either of the ones I mentioned or something else came up, but just choose one for now, and you can bring that into the session. If you feel something is resolved, which you would notice by sensations clearing up, you can pick something else, or just repeat the whole thing with something else afterwards, or whenever. Sometimes it is easier to get a handle on something, like a sentence that really brings that up for us. So, for example, if instead of just saying, oh, okay, there is a fear of going crazy, like actually tuning into this, okay, what if I'm losing my mind? What if I'm losing touch with reality? And so forth. You don't have to participate at all, of course. You can also just relax and receive the clearings. All right, so let's just get started here. And just to arrive, let's take a deep breath together. So take a deep, long breath in. And out. Now, allow yourself to drop in and sink into your body. Feel into your body. Feel into your feet. Feel into your legs. Into your chest. Breathe into your belly. And just be aware of your body for a couple of breaths. And now recall that doubt or that fear that you wanted to bring in. If you got a handle on it, then take that and notice where you feel that in the body when you think of that, when you bring that up. Just notice the sensations that come up around it. This could be just like a slight tingling somewhere, or pressure, heaviness, maybe constriction somewhere in the body. Now, if this doesn't feel available to you right now, then that's fine, just relax. Otherwise, just breathe into those sensations. Just normal breath. While I'm going to address the different topics. So I will start the clearings now. It will be several minutes and I will check back in afterwards. All right, here we go. All right. Notice how you feel. Just be aware of what you're perceiving right now. What are the sensations like now? How did they change? Maybe they lightened up, maybe they moved. Just notice it. And again, just repeat with either the same one if that still has a high charge for you, or something else that comes up for you. Yeah, so now, as I said, this topic is near and dear to me, and yes, I do like exploring all that fun psychic stuff, but even if that's none of your interest, you'll still want to practice going within and tuning into that inner voice, that inner knowing, that guidance, because this is how we find out what is true and right for us, and also what isn't, and let that go, and be more and more of ourselves. And yeah, that might throw off people. There might be people in our lives that are not supportive of the way that we start showing up once we live from that place. But it also means freeing ourselves for something new. And yeah, this year I feel it stronger than before, that there's this strong resonance for things like events or people where the message is so clear, and it's like, yeah, that's the way to go. And many of us might come together through that resonance. But that means living from the heart space and trusting our own answers and living our truth. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't get inspired by others, right? I do that a lot. Like, I might make a choice where I'm not sure how that could look like, and then I ask for inspiration, and oftentimes that comes through other people. But it does mean using discernment, like taking in what really truly resonates and dropping the rest. So yeah, if you feel called to work with some affirmations, just a few suggestions would be: I stand for myself, I am choosing higher wisdom, and I'm trusting my own answers. Now, if the I'm trusting part is bothering you because of the grammar, then just change it. That just works better for me. And of course, only take what resonates. You could use them in a meditation, or what I usually simply do is just recite them in the morning if I work with something, and just do that for several days until I feel like they're fully online. So that doesn't mean that I can already see how that translates into areas, but it means that they're installed, so I no longer need to do anything with it. And if you feel guided to move your hands with it, like maybe hold them in a specific position, or just move them around, then just go with it. Like, don't question it, because that's for a reason. So as an example, with the mantra, I'm trusting my own answers, like I automatically held my hands in a little distance from my ears, like facing inwards, which was basically symbolizing like tuning within, and like cutting out that noise, the noise outside, but also the mental chatter, all those thoughts that pass through, which most of them, they aren't even ours anyway. And it also said, like, I'm relying on that guidance, and I don't answer to anyone else. Yeah, okay, so I hope you enjoyed this, and keep exploring your intuition and have lots of fun with it, because there's so much more that's possible than what is visible in the current collective reality, right? And what a waste to shut a door on that. And it's available to all of us, and we can all tap into that. And we are all alchemists. So wherever you are and whenever you're tuning into this, I am wishing you a wonderful, magical day, full of awe and wonder, and full of joy. Many blessings to you. Bye.